Hey guys, Elizabeth here and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well and that you're having a great day so far. Today we're going to talk about things that my husband and I do or did with our money that will help us become millionaires in a few years. So, number one, we spend less than we make. So this was something that we had to work on at first. We all came from different money backgrounds and situations, but in order for us to achieve wealth and to be able to invest money and to have money to compound and grow, we have to spend less than we make. So I've always spent and saved less than I made. And so it's helped me to invest. And that's just been my mindset and my habit. My husband does the same as well. And we've lived below our means so that we can eventually have this freedom and have money and wealth. We'd rather look like we are poor and we don't have money than look like we have a lot of money, but actually be poor. Number two, we live way below our means. So this goes along with the first one, spending less than we make, but we don't just spend less than we make, we spend significantly less than we make. And even if maybe getting a loan on a house or something, they say we can afford a $800,000 house, we would want a $300,000 house. We do not want to live close to our means or above or at our means. We want to live way below, especially because we want to retire early. We want to have time to do our passion projects and we want freedom. So we're willing to do that. Number three, we got rid of bad debt. So credit card debt, that is just not helpful. I understand that sometimes people get in that situation or that's what you have to do in that time. But if you can get off credit card debt, it makes a huge difference. We thankfully do not have student loans. My husband's are all paid off and I don't have any anymore. And so we're good to go. I know that can be a big burden for people. So I empathize with you. I'm sorry if you're still in that situation. Do what you can do to get out of that debt and to pay off that debt. It really makes a difference. Even for your car, we paid cash for a car, and then we have a small car loan left that we're working on paying off. But getting out of that debt quickly really helps you to be able to put money towards your investment. So instead of putting $300, $400, $500 for a car payment, you're able to invest that, and that is going to compound and grow over time. So that's really made a difference. Number four, investing in skills that can increase our income and income streams. So my husband's a teacher, and just moving a county over, he can make $10,000 to $20,000 more just by doing that. So that's a skill he already has, and he can make more money for doing the same job. Now it's in a different area, etc. But he already has that skill. So look at that. What skills do you already have and maybe what companies would pay you more? A lot of people move to different companies or jobs doing the same job like an accountant, but the new company will pay them more. Sometimes it's harder to make more money in your current job. And so transferring to a different job could be an option. Also, more skills, like maybe you don't have enough skills right now. I know I'm trying to learn more skills. I have a lot of skills with writing and technical writing, and that can increase my income, but that is something that we've worked on. What are skills or things that we can learn or do to help increase our income? Because at some point, you can only cut so much. Number five, maxing out the benefits at your current job. So taking a look. I know we got these huge packets and we actually have a lot of benefits for where we work, and it can be overwhelming, but looking at it critically and saying, where's the employer match? Where's the 401k? What is the 401k being invested in? What other options do you have? I know we have a 403b. We also have Roth 403bs, which is excellent if you know anything about the Roth and the Roth IRAs. It is taxed before it goes in, but then it can grow tax-free and be taken out tax-free. And so we invested in those options. So take a look at what your employer offers. They a lot of times have flex savings accounts and HSAs, which HSAs are a triple tax advantaged account. The Roth is a double tax advantage account, but an HSA is a triple tax advantage account. So you can definitely look at that. Number six, we can also save money on taxes if we have extra money to invest in addition to the 401k and 403b and Roth 403bs, which is even better. So we have brokerage accounts outside of our 401ks and our Roths, but if you invest with your employer or in your Roth IRA or in your 401k, there are tax deductions. So you actually don't get taxed as much because you're putting a lot of that money for retirement. So this is a benefit that I learned about and that the government gives you. And instead, say you make $100,000, and you end up investing the full $22,500 for you, $22,500 in your 401k for your husband, and even just that is, you won't get taxed on that money. Whatever is left over and that you don't put in the tax advantage accounts, you'll get taxed on. So that's going to save you so much money in taxes. Now, I know that's a lot of money, and a lot of times you can't put all that away, but knowing that if you have a little extra money, even if you put $5,000 in there, that's $5,000 less dollars that you can be taxed on. And that's made a big difference for us. Number 7, buy used cars. So we have a car that's a 2012. It's a nice big Honda Odyssey. Also look at the brand that you get. Do they have longevity? Are they safe? What's the cost of maintenance? We looked into that in Hondas, Toyotas. Those can typically be good vehicles to have. And we paid cash. We got a really great deal for it. And we're doing great with it. So look at that. Also, if you don't want to get like a really old beat up car, we did get a 2006, I believe, or 2005 Toyota Camry. It only had 60,000 miles on it and was like $6,000. And I was like, I don't mind using an old car. This is great. It has low mileage. It's reliable. It's just a car. It's getting us from here to there. And I was looking for something that could commute in. It can rack up the miles, but it was a little older. And unfortunately, it did have some rust at the bottom. And so it wasn't going to last as long as we thought without expensive repairs. So we ended up trading that in, and we ended up getting a used car that was newer, that was a 2019. And I believe we got it in 2021 or 2022. So usually get like a 3 to 4, maybe even 5-year old car, so that, because cars depreciate as soon as you drive it off the lot. So get one that's a few years old, but that still has low mileage, that's been well kept, and then you'll be able to keep it for 15, 20 years, and you won't have a car payment for the whole time. Do it and buy a car that you can do a reasonable car payment and that you're not stuck in that forever. Number 8, be frugal where needed. So you don't have to buy the cheapest things. Sometimes buying like a high quality Under Armour shorts that I've had for, 10 years, I still have them, and they're just starting to fade, and I wear them all the time, and they probably cost $30. So I didn't spend $10, but this $30, maybe even $40 that I invested, I've paid pennies for it if you calculate how many times you've worn it. So you can spend money on things that you need, but be frugal where you need to. Think about what you're actually buying. Do you need it? That's been really, really helpful for us. Number 9, think long term. So short-term sacrifice, big results. Yes, is it hard saving sometimes? Is it hard not buying everything you want? Sure, sometimes. But when you have a bigger goal in mind and you're thinking about the long term, and when I'm thinking about that I'm not going to have to work till I'm 70, or that I'm going to get to spend more time with my family and my kids, or that I can work on more passion projects, I am motivated and it fires me up. So thinking long term instead of like, oh, I can't go get this, or oh, I can't do this, or and just being frustrated, use it to empower you and to always think of the big picture. What is that bigger goal to help you keep going? And lastly, we opened multiple bank accounts. So we don't just have one. I saw this from Jordan Page a few years back, and just having multiple bank accounts. So in life, you don't have 2 CEOs typically. And so you don't need 2 CEOs of your finances and of your family. We delegate. We have multiple. So we have multiple accounts. And then different missions. So maybe your husband is in charge of the cars, or maybe and like fun activities that you do for a family. Maybe you go to the movies or something like that. Maybe you're in charge of groceries, or maybe you're in charge of your groceries, he's in charge of his groceries, etc. You're in charge of your insurance, you're in charge of your own gas, and the same. But we have these accounts. I know I also, when we would go on trips, we would have a vacation account. So we would have a couple $1,000s put aside for vacations, and we would have that. And so then when it was time to buy our plane tickets or whatever, we would pull from there and everything was good. We had our normal system running. We had the money from one account going into my Roth IRAs. We had from his account going into his Roth IRAs. We had our money being taken out and deducted automatically from our paychecks for our 401ks to get our 401k matches, to go for our 403bs. Same thing with my husband. He would do the same thing. Maybe he has a certain payment he has to do. Maybe I have a car payment, etc. So we delegate and we have multiple accounts. If you want to save for something, it's a great way to do that. Some people recommend if you want to spend, say, $1,000 or $500 or $250 at Christmas, start putting that aside now so that you're not going along with your normal budget and then it's like, oop, we want to buy some Christmas presents for people, and then you don't have a lot of money there, or you have to pull from your regular budget. So having these accounts, it can help make things more organized, kind of like a filing cabinet. You can have an account we have for our emergency savings, and then we have our investment accounts, and we have like our house goal. And so spread it out instead of just having one account with all this money. It kind of helps you, and it kind of makes you think too, oh, I only have this amount of money, but really you have money in multiple places. And I think that's a helpful thing as well. So I don't know if this was helpful to you. I hope it was. Let me know in the comments below if anything was specifically helpful to you or what you and your spouse has done. I have 10 more or 12 more tips that I'm happy to share. Let me know if you want a part 2, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.